So this isn't the Brown Lounge today, but the Browns are bringing you to Bin 41 because this is our very favorite wine tasting place in West Seattle. It's a cool little wine shop, and they're going to be tasting some wonderful Sonoma Pinots today, and we're here for that tasting. But what we thought we would do today is introduce you to the owners of Bin 41. Again, our favorite wine tasting shop and wine place in West Seattle. And I want to introduce you to T. Frick because she's one of the owners of the shop. And Kevin's going to interview T and talk a little bit about how she got into this business and what her passions are about wine. And then we're going to come back and give you a little bit of a sampling of the wines that we're going to taste tonight. So, Kevin, take it away.
Sure. Thanks,
T,
Holly.
take it away.
Thank you.
Well, great. Well, welcome again, everyone, all of you wine lovers. As Holly says, it's a delight to be here at Bin 41. It's our favorite shop. It's really a pleasure to be able to drive 2 miles to be in a shop with world-class wines. And we're here with T, and we're going to learn a little bit about the shop. So, T, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
sun is shining.
It's a beautiful day here in West Seattle. So I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about your shop, but people always want to know about you, and they want to know about how you got here. So tell us a little bit about where you're from and how you made it here to West Seattle.
Sure. Well, John and I are natives of Wisconsin. We moved out to Eugene, Oregon in, the late 90s after graduating college. And I would say that's where we first discovered wine. In Wisconsin in those days, there wasn't much selection. We got to Eugene, Oregon, and we had our first sip of a Pinot Noir. And I still remember, we still laugh about it. I look at John, and I said, wow, this is wine.
That was it.
And what's amazing is it doesn't come out of a jug or a box. So that was our first love. And then we moved to Seattle, actually West Seattle. We've been here the whole time in 2000. And that's where the passion really grew into what it is today.
So you have a thriving, successful business, but what did you do before you were a wine merchant?
Well, it's kind of funny. We're both landscape architects, urban designers, so we don't come from the retail background. But I think it's that passion for the land, the landscape architecture, and really loving what comes from the vineyard, the viticulture, the soil, the terroir. That's kind of where it started. And then it grew into a lot of traveling. And what we found when we traveled was everything we were doing was focused around the community, the people. What were they eating? What were they drinking? And everything was about food and wine. So that led to taking wine classes at South Seattle Community College. It led to making wine, initially in our basement. So we had quite a little production going in our basement. We now make some wine for the shop, so we have our own label, but we call ourselves amateur winemakers. And then eventually the college classes led to doing a business plan, and 2 years later, here we are.
Great. Well, you have a wonderful shop. So what was the vision when you first conceived the business plan here? What was your sort of like your mission?
The mission was really about connecting with community, and it was about food and wine. So it was kind of a staple that we needed to find a location in West Seattle, which that kind of stumbled upon us first. We weren't quite ready to pull the trigger and for me to leave my job, but we saw some spaces opening up in the Junction, which is the heart of West Seattle. It was the place to be. And so that kind of triggered us to just kind of go for it, to jump into it. And we knew we wanted to do retail because for us, if we had gone into winemaking, we didn't want to get what we call house palate. We really love wine from all over the world, and what does it pair with food-wise, and just really experiencing what's out there. And so retail was the natural fit for us. And for that, we want to connect people with wine. We want to connect them with the winemakers, the regions, and give them variety, and also focus on food as well.
Well, speaking of, we're here for a wine tasting event. So how did all that get started? I know you do these on Friday nights. Is that normal?
Every Friday night, from 5:30 to 7. We started tastings actually on day one. Our soft opening, we opened before we had our portfolio because we wanted to meet the community. We wanted to make sure what we were selecting was what worked for our customers. And on day one in our soft opening, we opened wine and poured it and tasted it. We feel wine tastings are important. It's a way to show what's out there. It's a way for customers to learn their palate. Our palates have definitely changed over the years, and they still do. And it's also a social event. Some of our best friends we have met through shops and wineries because we share a passion, and that passion is about people and food and wine.
Sure. Well, there's a lot of wine shops in Seattle, so what makes Bin 41 different?
I think our background, we're youthful, we're young. We don't come, we're not sommeliers, we don't have a master of wine, we're casual people. It stems from communities and food and wine, and we've learned along the way. We still continue to learn. We learn with our customers, we learn together. I also think our background in design is a little different. When you come to Bin 41, you'll probably see that right away. We have a lot of glass. The wine is all protected. It's in direct light, but most wine shops are very tight. They're cave-like, and this one's open and airy. We want you to feel comfortable. We want you to hang out, and we like that you can come in and see the wines and enjoy the experience.
So you mentioned food, and for our viewers of the Brown Lounge, food's our passion as well, and a lot of our viewers love food to go with wine. So what's your favorite wine and food pairing?
I would say that's really hard.
You have like your choice.
Well, we always talk about if you were on a deserted island, what one wine would you want to have? I'm a Sancerre junkie. That's me. Okay. So anything from the Sancerre region, but in particular the Sancerre Blancs. So okay. I think that it's amazing wine. It doesn't matter what your mood is. It doesn't matter what the weather is. It's very versatile with food, from appetizers to heartier dishes.
So if you're going to take a Sancerre and pair it with your favorite food, what would that food be?
I would probably go with something seafood because it is Seattle. So
right.
I'd probably choose like a white fish or do some sort of prawn dish.
Great.
Maybe put some hearty kind of bean with it.
Great.
Or a little bit of spice.
Great, great. So what's your favorite thing to do when you're not working? You don't work all the time.
Well, right now we do kind of work 24/7, but it's not work. That's what we say. You're interacting with people, and most days it doesn't feel like work.
Right.
When we do get some downtime, I'm kind of the creative side, so I choose art. I like to cook, obviously, and paint. And then John has got the other gene, so he's the athlete out of the two of us. So he's usually out on his bike or golfing or doing something athletic.
So I always love to ask this last question, and then we'll wrap it up. So if you weren't a wine merchant, what would you be doing?
What would I be doing? Well, I'd probably be retired with enough wealth to be traveling around the world, experiencing different places.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's wine series interview with T. Frick at Bin 41. Come down and visit the shop, enjoy their wines. Friday night wine tastings. They have a website, which is
www.bin41wine.com.
Excellent. Thanks very much. We'll see you soon.